I want to emphasize 4 headwinds. The first one obviously has to do with jobs. The gold lines that you see there, if you notice, those bars are going down. The line that you see that's shooting up toward the sky is the unemployment rate. Jobs times earnings equals total income, and that's what they can spend going into the holiday season. Energy costs are very high, and credit conditions are tight. If you take all those factors, look in the lower right, and it's going to tell you what's happening with consumer confidence. It's obviously down, and it's down at recessionary levels. The U.S. economy is entering into a consumer, housing-centered recession.
In this kind of an economic environment, all retailers become discount retailers, and that's going to include the luxury market, I'm afraid. Everything's going to take a backseat to price. 83.3% feel a major impact from gas prices, not a surprise there. 94% of consumers surveyed said they plan to spend the same or less this year for the holidays.
Okay, so I have no prepared notes today, so that's the way it's got to be. So let's all just take a nice big sigh. Pump your shoulders a little bit. Roll forward, please. Okay, life sucks. Say that for me. Life sucks. Okay, these guys did their job. Yeah! No offense. I don't mean to make fun, but I do. Because I'm angry that America is sounding like losers and we are believing the junk that we are getting every day. This is the stuff that I don't need to know when I walk in my door. This has nothing to do with the fact that you don't call a customer back after they call you. This has nothing to do with the fact that I know that 70% of you don't even have a website yet. I don't think this internet thing's going away. I think it might be here. Why don't we take stock and decide to sell something again? Why don't we take stock and say, it doesn't have to be that way? Because we turn on the news and we want to feel bad. What sick thing is that? I stand here today because my great-great-grandfather came from Ireland, him and his brother. One landed in North Carolina and the other one went up to Virginia, up by Carroll County. I don't know if anybody knows where that is. But that's where my grandfathers, several generations, lived as hillbillies. I had first cousins marry, okay? So, you know, this is like the Simpsons Cletus character. And my grandfather remembered his stuff being pulled out of the house the week before Christmas to pay for back taxes because his dad was a preacher. I come from a long line of preachers, if you can't tell that. And he said, not me. And he ended up getting a carpenter, became a carpenter, and then a general contractor. And during the Depression, he was building homes for people out there in Bassett and I should know all those places. Colorful names like Acid Plant Hill, where they made battery acid and munitions. I mean, this was like Love Canal of the South that he grew up in. And he said, not my kids, and all 8 of them got out of Appalachia. And I stand here today because that guy had leverage. Do you have leverage? Turn my mic on.
I don't think you need it.
Well, should I go back to that line again, just in case? So I stand here today because that man had leverage. Do you have leverage? Are you willing to change, or are you just going to take this? Because I'm sorry, I don't work with Walmart and all those guys. I work with Jane's Gift Shop. I teach people how to sell their merch. When was it acceptable to allow some 18-year-old kid not to be trained and to be texting while they're at your work? That's your fault. You guys that want to tell me it's the economy, that's like the football player who misses the pass and says, Coach, it wasn't my fault, the other guy. No, you're not catching the pass. And that's a hard message. And that's why I'm here today. That's why I'm here today. Because if you want to sit here thinking that CNN or one of these guys, no offense, we're good friends here. I'm a member of the National Retail Federation. These guys are great guys. I have no issue with them. But if you were waiting for MSNBC or CNN to tell you it's going to be okay, guess what? They're not. Because that doesn't sell Depends at 10 o'clock at night. New foreclosure story at 10. Your children may be poisoned when they walk into the mall. Tune in tonight. We don't need this. And how dare you call each other and commiserate about how no one's in the store. Big deal. Well, now, I need 2 volunteers. I have an interesting little thing. I need 2 volunteers. Thanks, Tom. That's 1. I need 1 more that would like some chocolate cake. I know it's a little early for chocolate cake. But it's never early for chocolate cake. All right. All right, this is a delicious, dark, butterfat, rich chocolate cake. There's yours. There you go.
Thanks.
And Tom, there's yours. Enjoy it. How about a hand for our volunteers? That is the same cake, would you agree? That's what your employees are doing to your merch every day. That's what you're doing to your stores every day. Oh, it's the economy. Why don't we just stop whining? Why don't we just get out there and reclaim America? I mean, I'm in the South, for goodness sakes. My name is Robert Lee Phibbs. You're the brightest and best, for gosh sakes. A friend of mine, she is a teacher at Paramount High School in Los Angeles. The principal put out a bulletin. We had the largest graduating class in 50 years. Isn't that great? 652. She's like, great, that sounds great, you know? A week later, she found out that actually 125 of them had something called, I don't know even what it's called, but it's something where you can attend, you don't get a GED, it just says you attended high school, and they didn't want to disappoint them from not being able to walk across and graduate with their friends. So that's no different than we're seeing in sports. Everybody gets a trophy. It's trophy day. You showed up. Yay, come on. And that's what we brought to our businesses. And so when you say you can't compete and you got Bitter Betty answering your phone every morning and you're telling me, oh, but you don't understand, Bob. She's there every day at 10. And I'm like, yeah, that's my point. She's there every day at 10. So when you look in the mirror and you make some really hard choices about what's right and how you want to be treated and who you want to work with, and you're doing everything great, and customers are being sold merchandise. How many of you would want your kids to grow up to be a salesperson? Yeah, that's amazing to me because I want everybody to be a salesperson. Nothing in this room happened about a salesperson. Not a stick of furniture, not a piece of clothes. There is nothing in here that happened without being sold. So why can't we own being a salesperson? Oh, that's bad. Well, get over it. This is America. This is America. You have to sell an idea or you have to sell a product or you're nothing. And that's the problem with education right now because we aren't teaching that. There are winners and losers. We're seeing that, Lehman Brothers, the hubris of saying, I can lend $30 on every one. The hubris of most independent retailers is, it doesn't matter, I can get away with it. Well, guess what? The pond is shrinking. And a lot of people are going to get burned by this economy. There's no 2 ways about it. But it doesn't have to be you, is my point. And if you want to sit here and say it's all them and, oh, I have permission, these guys told me I have permission to not do anything and to cut back, I don't believe it's all going to be discounts. I think that's ridiculous. Coach was actually having sales last December. Coupons they were distributing for their goods. Coach. It's like, why don't you just trash the brand? Have we seen Tiffany put their stuff on sale? Why? Because it was a cachet. Well, that's your business. It should matter when they walk into your store. And if it's not remarkable, meaning in a good way, because there's a lot of remarkable that's bad, right? If it doesn't stand out, I've got to tell somebody how great it is, then you're not going to be around here next year. So I ask you, can you compete? You better believe it.